What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 7 secrets that every part-time photographer needs to know about booking clients. It's Esther here with Educated by EMP, and I just want to welcome you to this training. This is really exciting, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm just so glad that you are here for this training because we have a lot of exciting things to dive in today. And yeah, we're gonna get started here. So, first of all, obviously I've welcomed you, but I want to give you a really warm welcome because I'm so thrilled that you are here. And also I'm thrilled that you are taking that next step in your business to level up and to start getting more inquiries and gonna book more clients for your photography business. So super exciting. And we have a lot of fun things planned for us today. Okay, first of all, I want to talk just briefly about who I am and how did I get to where I am. So I need to acknowledge that I learned so much from my business coach. So he helped me out like just infinitely, and with these tactics that I'm going to share with you today, a lot of these ideas I had taken and transformed from my business coach. So I would have monthly meetings with him. We would go over exactly what's working in my business, what needs some tweaking. We would go over, he taught me so much about these tactics. So always got to give credit where credit is due. Also, I need to also say that audiobooks and podcasts were like my best friend for years. I still love them. I'm always learning. There's always more to learn. So audiobooks and podcasts are just like so awesome. And I would just like drink that information in. Like it is so powerful. I'm going to share a quick story about podcasts in general with you. So, I would catch myself. I was working at a school as a special ed assistant, and I was just so passionate about my business. So I'd catch myself with my AirPods in while I'm at work on supervision, whatever it is. I'd catch myself with my AirPods in, and I would take my hair and just kind of hide it over my earphones, over my AirPods, because I was so into, like, I had to learn more information. I had to gain more knowledge. I was constantly obsessed with learning about my business and how can I serve my clients better? How can I better myself? So, I just had to share that because it just cracks me up. Like I just was hiding my hair over my AirPods. I had that podcast going. Like I had at least like an hour of podcasts every single day. And still to this day, I'm just obsessed with podcasts. So that's like where all like majority of my learning came from. Obviously some trial and error there and different experiences that I went through, and life experience obviously, but so much of it was learned from my business coach. So I gotta give him credit. And then also audiobooks and podcasts, which are so useful. So yeah, that's a little bit of like how I learned these tactics and how I got to be here and be sharing these things with you. I wouldn't be sharing if it didn't work. So they work, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And I'm super stoked to be doing that. So before we dive in here, I want to just talk about my why behind helping photographers. Like why do I bother? Why am I helping photographers? Why don't I just do my thing, have a profitable wedding photography business, and be done with it, and not worry about anyone else, and just compete against everyone in my industry, and look down on those who can't quite get to the level of other photographers. So that's why I want to touch on my why. Like, why the heck do I bother? Why do I put all this time and energy into these resources? So, first of all, everyone starts somewhere. Everyone has a starting point of, like no one just rises up and becomes a wedding photographer overnight and starts having all these clients. Like everyone starts somewhere. Everyone has a starting point. And I love to remember where my starting point was. Like I find the start line is so exciting, and there's so much opportunity out there, and so many things to do, so many things to learn. Like it's just such an exciting time, and I think a lot of people are scared about it, and a lot of photographers are not helpful. So that's why I'm saying like everyone starts somewhere, and I want to help those people who are at the start line, or maybe they're 100 meters in, maybe they are 500 meters in, but they just can't seem to grasp, how do I run a profitable photography business? So I got rejected when I started out, and I was so excited. I was like, I remember like running to my friends and family and being like, I'm gonna be a wedding photographer. and I was so excited. And people were just like, "What?" Like they thought it was the dumbest idea ever. So, if that's been happening to you, or maybe it's happened to you in the past with something else, I feel you. I was in your shoes. I got rejected. I got laughed at. Like people were they thought it was like comical that I said I was going to be a wedding photographer, and I was like, what is so funny? I did not understand. And like yeah, people just didn't I don't know, there was no support, and I was like really really discouraged by that, but it wasn't about to stop me. I got ghosted when I would reach out to photographers, and I was like, "Hey, like I'm an up and coming photographer. I'm so excited to be jumping into this industry. My ultimate goal is to shoot weddings for a living. I want to do that full time. I know that's what I want to do." And instead of getting the response that I was kind of expecting, which I thought would be, "Oh, Esther, that's like so fantastic. I would love to have you, come along and shadow me for a session, or I could meet you for coffee and help you out with your goals, and just talking about like how I achieved what I have so far and how I can help you do that." But instead, I got ghosted. I was so discouraged because these people were ghosting me, or they were responding with like, "Oh, like I can't really help you," or giving me one word answers, or just stuff that was like, I was really confused, I guess, because I was like, why, like what? I was ready to, do anything. I have what it takes, and I knew that. So, I was just really, really discouraged because for one person I really looked up to, I'm not here to bash people. I'm not going to list names, but for one person I really looked up to, and like her the way that she kind of was portrayed on social media, I was like, oh, sweet, she would be so down for this. And I was like basically begging her to take my money to have me like just learn from her, and gain that knowledge. But unfortunately, that was not the kind of reaction that I got. So that was really, really discouraging for me. And that really pushed me into saying to myself, okay, when my wedding photography starts going well and I'm doing well as a photographer, I know that I'm going to help other photographers who were in my shoes years ago, and I had that on my heart, and I was like, okay, I have to do that once photography is going really well, and I've learned things, and I know tactics, and I have valuable information to share. So that's a little bit of like kind of my why behind helping photographers. So yeah, I will help others who would like the help. I'm not going to go like shove myself at everyone. I want to help those who would like the help. So let's jump into the strategy here. So I'm going to be going over 7 secrets. Obviously, you know that because of the title and that you are in this training. But about the strategy here, the strategy is to know how we can best serve our clients and who are we looking to serve. So we need to know exactly who we are looking to serve, if we want to even get to the how. So how can we best serve them? Well, who are we talking about? Like we have to know who we are talking about and acknowledge that before we can jump into all of the tactics there. So that's what I will say to the strategy there. We didn't get into photography because we love marketing. I'm aware of that, and I hear that like from a lot of photographers who are just saying like, oh, I'm not a salesman, I'm not a marketer, I didn't go to school for marketing. I didn't go to school for photography either, but here I am. So all I'm saying is I totally understand that we didn't get into it because we love marketing. I'm aware of that, and that's why I'm here today to share these secrets with you so that I can make it easy on you, and that you don't have to go stumbling along confused or blind when I can be here and share these secrets with you. So that's a little bit about the strategy here. Secret number 1, you guys, you'd be surprised at the amount of people I talk to who have not done this yet. So I know a handful of you, or maybe more than a handful, will obviously already have both of these tools in place, but I'm talking about it anyway because I'm always surprised and kind of like baffled at the amount of people who don't have this done yet. If you have this done already, awesome, you're one step ahead. If you don't have it done already, obviously there's no judgment because I'm sharing this with you so that I can benefit you and help your business. So set up a Facebook business account. By that, I mean like a business page that you can link everything back to about your business. So your website and your Instagram, and have awesome photos on there to share with the world, to invite your friends to like your page so that people know exactly what you're doing. All your Facebook friends know what you're doing. And having an Instagram account. Now, I get like majority of my leads from Instagram, but I have both of these because I want to be able to reach the most people possible. So that's why I recommend, if you don't have both of these, please set up both of these and utilize both of them. Like for your Instagram posts, I always make sure that I have the share button on to automatically share it to Facebook as well. So I don't even have to think, and I'm already hitting 2 platforms with one push of a button. So that's what I will say on that, is set up your Facebook business account and your Instagram account. For regarding your Facebook business account, make sure that when you set it up, you're inviting all your friends to go and like it and check it out and get their feedback, because that's going to be so, so powerful for networking and for being top of mind, for people to know like you're the one to tell their family and friends about, and they know what niche of photography you're in. They know you're really passionate about it. They see your stuff everywhere. So we just want to make sure we're covering both of these bases here. Super, super important. Okay, secret number 2. Share the best of your best work only. And I know this is difficult because we are photographers. We love taking pictures, and not just 1 or 2. We love taking hundreds and thousands and just so many pictures, and it's hard to just post a tiny sneak peek on our Instagram and on our Facebook. But the reason why I'm saying this is that clients who come across, like potential clients who come across your Instagram, they're going to be looking through, and they are going to be pretty harsh on deciding whether or not they're going to hire you and book a session. They're going to be looking through all the pictures and picking it apart, and I'm just being quite honest because I've been there, and I've actually had somebody not book me before because of one little flaw that they kind of noticed or that they didn't really agree with. And that was when I was just posting everything and anything, and I hadn't actually just put it down to the best of the best work. And this is something I came across on one of my podcasts, was just he was talking about really talking to your ideal client through your images, and he's a wedding photographer himself, and he was just saying he wants people to only see the best of his best work on his Instagram, and when they dive more in depth, they can go to his website, they can check out more of his work there. But in regards to his Instagram, you're just wanting to just toss them that little hook of like, wow, these photos are fantastic, I have to learn more or contact them or whatever it is. That's where the sharing your best of the best work comes in handy, and that's how you're going to up your leads, is because you are presenting to the world. I have a folder on my phone with all of my favorite images, and I won't even share all those to Instagram. From that folder that I've already culled, and from my all of my files and images that I have on my computer, I've airdropped them to my phone so that I have a specific folder of, these are all the photos that I specifically love. And then from there, I'm going to take a tiny percentage from there. That's what's going to go on Instagram. So it's quite the process of that I go through to make sure that I'm only sharing the best work on Instagram. And that's how I'm going to really pull people in and have them have their interest piqued. So moving on from that, sharing the best work, having your Instagram and Facebook business pages open and going. Those are our 2 secrets so far. Secret number 3, you guys. Be active and consistent on social media. So now we're kind of piggybacking on each idea. So we've got our business account set up on Facebook and Instagram. Then I'm telling you to share the best of your best work only. To pique people's interest. Now I'm saying be active and consistent on social media. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying it on purpose of that a lot of people just like, okay, great, Esther, I've got these accounts set up, let the leads roll in. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. You've got to be active and consistent on social media. That's how you're going to see the return and see the leads coming in, is when you are active and consistent on social media. You're delivering the type of content that your audience wants to see. You are talking to your audience. You are on there daily. You are using the different features that Instagram has to offer. You've got a beautiful feed, and you're being consistent. You're giving more than you take. You are commenting on people's work. You are engaging with different, maybe different vendors, maybe different people on Instagram that you would love to work for, and you're engaging with them. So this is super, super important and crucial to the success of you being on social media. Having a strong presence, you need to be top of mind. So to have a strong presence on social media means that you are going to be top of mind for your specific niche of photography. So having a strong presence, like sharing often, but of course sharing the best work that you've got. And if you feel like you're not super satisfied with the current portfolio you have and the current images, and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's actually the best of my best work, that's fine. Then go out there and create more. Keep creating until you have reached that, okay, I'm stoked to share these, and that's what you want to be portraying online. Don't worry about spamming or annoying people. This is like the number one concern I hear from photographers is like, oh, well, like I'm not going to share every day or every other day or whatever it is. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to spam people. I don't want to annoy people. Well, guess what? You can't worry about that. And that used to be a hesitation of mine until my business coach pointed out, like, people follow you for a reason. And I listened to an audiobook about this as well, just about being top of mind in your industry and in your niche. And you can't stress about these things of spamming or annoying people because you're not going to get anywhere that way. And you got to just be able to cut loose and not stress about what other people are thinking. And so what if there's one person out of all your followers who is like, oh, I just feel like they're spamming me, fine, let them unfollow you or turn off post notifications or whatever. Like, who cares? That's one person. The rest of the people are loving your stuff. And if you are truly sharing the best work and sharing from your heart, then you're not going to have to stress about what people are thinking and am I oversharing and all these things. So don't stress about that. When I stopped stressing about that, it was like a weight off my shoulders, and I was like, oh, great, I can just share the best of my best work, and I can have fun on here. I can give more than I can take. And if you are truly being consistent and engaging with people, then like, yeah, they're stoked to see your stuff. Secret number 4, you guys, we are just chugging along here. We've got so many exciting things happening, and I am just so excited to keep moving along and to have you guys implement these things into your business. Okay, this is really, really important, and I feel like it's something that goes without saying in my books, but until I realized that a lot of people don't have this. So having a clear call to action, that's why I've got CTA in there within your bio. So let's take Instagram for example, super, super powerful tool. But if people are on there and browsing your images and they're like, oh, these are awesome images, but there's no clear call to action in your bio, what are they supposed to do? Like, they've followed, okay, that's great. They've followed you and they've maybe liked a couple pictures, but what's their call to action? How are they supposed to know what to do, right? So that's what I'll say to the bio. And then having a clear call to action on your website. So making sure people who land on your website know exactly what to do. Like, what are they doing there? Are they going to fill out an inquiry form? Are they going to book a session through a calendar app? Are they going to send you an email? Like, what is the call to action on your website there? Super, super important. Clear call to action on Facebook. So when you are maybe making a Facebook post, or maybe it's a link in your profile picture or in your cover photo, having a clear call to action on Facebook is really, really powerful because it's actually more difficult to reach people on Facebook organically. So having a clear call to action is super, super important when it comes to Facebook. I can't stress this enough. A call to action. So I'm going to go through the steps here. Having a call to action on your Instagram bio, for example, having that is so powerful, and it's something that it actually took me, like, I didn't have it in there for the first year, and I was missing out on clients. I know that. I can admit that. But having a clear call to action when someone comes across your Instagram profile, like, for example, you've got your website. So your website link you want to have in your bio, of course, and then within your bio, you want to say, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to fill out the form on your website? Are they going to inquire here and you're going to do an arrow towards your website? Are they going to DM you to do a session? Are they going to, like, what are they going to do? You want them to do something, so make sure you tell them, and you got to make it point blank for them, because people don't know this. Like, they don't naturally know, like, oh, I should DM them. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm serious. Like, people have to have a very, very clear call to action. What kind of action do you want them to take from your Instagram? Maybe you don't have a website yet. That's fine. Then say, DM me for to book your session today, or DM me to learn about my latest exclusive deals, or check out the latest blog, like my latest blog post, and you're gonna arrow towards that blog post link, like whatever it is, just make sure it's really, really clear in your bio. Um, and that is so, so powerful. And also in your bio, just make sure you let people know like who you are and where you are. I know sounds crazy again, but make sure you have both of those as well in your bio so that people know exactly who you are, what you do, and what's their call to action. What are they supposed to do? And then your call to action on your website, you want to have a few of these. So you want to have them kind of sprinkled throughout your website of like, what are they, like they're on your website for a reason. They obviously like your work. So what's the next step from there? We want to make sure we can convert them into a lead. So having a clear call to action on your website, maybe it's the contact form they're supposed to fill out. Then have a few buttons of those sprinkled throughout your website. Maybe it is sending you an email. Great, then have a few different links that they can just click on and it creates an email thread to you already. So that's really, really important on your website. And then the call to action on Facebook that I touched on as well. But you guys, call to action, CTA, I put exclamation marks because this is so, so important to you getting new leads, is that people are lazy. That's what it comes down to. And they need stuff broken down for them. They're not going to do anything. They're going to take no action if they're not told what to do. So that's why it's super, super important to make sure we're telling them exactly what to do, because they won't do it otherwise. That's what it comes down to. Okay, moving on here. Secret number 5. This is so often forgotten about and shafted. That's why I felt super, super compelled to make sure I include this within this training of the 7 secrets, because it gets forgotten about and shafted all the time. Like left, right, and center, it is forgotten about. I want to make sure that doesn't happen with you. Marketing in person. Now, I know this can sound scary. You're like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be sleazy. I don't want to be a salesperson. I just like taking photos. I know. But I don't want to let this go forgotten about. And I'm just touching on it because I know how powerful it is and it's worked for me. So that's why I need to share it with you. And guess what? You don't need to go about it the sleazy way and like, oh, like, hey, here's my best pitch when you're meeting someone new. Like, no, nah, you don't need to do that. So don't stress about that. You just want to make sure you're letting people know what you do, but we're going to do it in a subtle way. So we're not going to be, shouting from the rooftops, I'm a wedding photographer, book me for your next wedding, blah, 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 giving people your next pitch when you meet them in person. But instead, we're going to get your garden going. So you're thinking, Esther, why the heck are we talking about a garden? I'm in a photography training to get more clients. Well, we are talking about a garden for a very, very specific reason. And maybe some of you are already got the wheels turning in your head and you're already thinking like, why are we talking about a garden? I'm not quite picking this up here. But by letting people know what we do, we're going to weave it into our conversations with people that maybe we have just met, or maybe people who don't know a ton about us, but we've met them before. We are planting seeds by weaving this into conversations, and let me tell you, this is a powerful tool. I have made a point to do this all the time, and I'm not pushy about it. I'm not being that person that's like, oh, hey, like, do you know anyone getting married? Because I would definitely be the right fit for them. That's not how I'm going about it. I'm simply weaving it into conversation subtly. Like, I'll give you an example here. When I worked at Starbucks, I worked there part-time for 7 years. It took me through high school and when I was kind of just sorting out my life still, to put it quite bluntly. So when I was sorting that out, I was working in the drive-thru. And when I was working this drive-thru at Starbucks, there was this customer who was coming through, and we, like I worked there. I did every single Saturday open, so I was there at 5 a.m. and he would always come through at 6:15 a.m. I still remember his name, Jim. Very, very friendly guy. And when he would come through, we would always be chatting up and this and this. And within like a couple conversations, small talk, and I knew what he did for work and whatnot. And I was chatting with him. I asked him what he was up to, and he told me, and then he asked me. And I said, yeah, like after work, I've got a bunch of editing to do for my photography business. And he's like, oh, you do photography? I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I told him exactly like who I do. I'm like, yeah, I like mostly photograph couples, and I'm getting into weddings because at that point I wasn't actually in them yet, but I said I'm getting into weddings and all these things. And he automatically was like, oh, amazing. Like, I have people always looking for a good photographer. Do you have a card? I'm like, oh, I don't have a card on me right now. But he took down my website and contact info, and I actually ended up getting leads through him. Like, he had a client that he had referred. I think it was through his workplace, like a coworker who needed somebody for his son's wedding, and that's actually how I ended up getting a lead. It didn't happen for I don't know, like 6 or 8 months down the road after he had my info, but I'm just saying that was a seed that I had planted in him, and it blossomed 6 or 8 months later. So that was really, really huge for me, and that's why I want to encourage you to be planting these seeds within your conversations. You don't have to be like forcing people of like, hey, do you know someone getting married? But instead, just weave it in your conversations by letting people know what you're up to. Like, what are you doing after work? Like, oh, I'm like slammed with some admin work for my photography business, or oh, I'm updating my website, or oh, I'm decorating my home office for my photography business, or oh, I'm heading off to this shoot. You know, I've got like 6 mini sessions this weekend. That way, like everyone knows what you do, and again, you're top of mind, and you're not just top of mind for social media land, but for in-person land, because people trust what someone has to say for word of mouth. So if they're getting a referral from word of mouth, it's like the best quality lead that you can get because it's just a slam dunk. Like they're literally setting you up for success by referring you by word of mouth. So that's what I mean by planting seeds. Really, really powerful tool. Okay, secret number 6, you guys. We are chugging along. This is our second last secret for this training. And I don't know about you, but I've had a great time going through these secrets. So we've got 2 more to get through here, and I am really, really excited because these next 2 are super, super, super important. I cannot stress that enough. So let's go ahead here. Secret number 6, defining your ideal clients. So I'm going to talk about this for a little bit, and I want to know who exactly you are wanting to market to. It has to be a specific person. You've got to be as specific as possible. I want you to tell me everything about this person. Like, it's literally one person that you are defining, and you have to know who that person is, all the specifics, like literally everything about them. So I want you to think about what kind of photography are they looking for? What kind of lifestyle do they live? Are they married? Are they engaged? Are they dating? Do they have kids? Like all the different factors. What do they do for work? What's their name? Like literally name them. And just tell me all about them. Tell me everything there is to know about them. And by doing this, you are going to be able to market way easier because you know exactly who you're talking to. So pause this video and like literally pause it, and I want you to write down everything. What kind of niche, who are they, like everything that I just listed, write it down, then come back when you're done. Okay, welcome back. So now you have your ideal client in mind who we are looking to market to for your business, and you wrote it down. Perfect. Now, if we're marketing to everyone, we're marketing to no one. And I know that sounds like a really, really strong statement, but that's good. I want it to be a strong statement because I truly believe it. And I truly believe that we have to market to a specific audience. And that's how we're going to be able to up our leads and up our game in the photography industry. So now that we know exactly who we're marketing to, it's going to be way easier to craft posts, to craft our Facebook feed, to be delivering and doing the best experience possible for our clients. It's going to be way easier to write captions. It's going to be way easier to choose what kind of locations we want, what kind of sessions we want to run, what kind of vibe we're looking for, what's our mood board. It's going to be way easier for all of that because you know exactly who you are marketing to and you are tailoring your business to them. So that's going to be super, super helpful now that we know that and that we can really, really market to them. Okay, secret number 7. This is rare and it is powerful. So I am like, I'm not gonna lie, this took me a little bit to figure out, and my business coach told me about it early on when I had hired him, but I didn't actually implement it for a long time after that, which I am kind of embarrassed to admit because it has been such a game changer, and my lead conversion has gone up significantly since then, since I started implementing this specific secret that I'm about to share with you. So, the reason why I'm telling you this and why I am like including this before I tell you what it is because I wanted to make sure you know how powerful it is so that you have that fire in you to actually make this happen and to do this and to implement it. I know so many photographers, and like I know a lot of them maybe personally, maybe online, but I know so many. And I'm always amazed at how many are scared of this specific tactic. And because of that reason, they don't do it. Which is too bad because it's really, really a powerful tool, and that's why I had to include it in this training. Also, I did the best for last, so I saved this for the end, but this is such a powerful tool. Fear not, it's not as scary as you think. I know I just said that a lot of people are scared of it, like a lot of photographers are, but it's not as scary as you think, and it's gonna help you big time. Get on the phone with your potential clients to qualify them and to see if they are indeed your ideal client. So, not only is this going to help you figure out if they're your ideal client, but you are making that extra connection and that extra level with them that maybe they've inquired with a few other people and that those other people have not taken this step, but you have. You've gotten on the phone with them to chat through and to see if it's going to be a great fit. You're telling them a little bit about your business, the type of people that you work with. You're seeing exactly what they're looking for, and then you're letting them know if this is going to be a great fit, which most of the time it is. But I have had to tell some people sometimes on the phone, like, you know what, unfortunately, I think this isn't actually going to be a great fit, but I'll be sure to get you some referrals in place. I know a lot of people who would be able to help you. Unfortunately, I'm not your gal, but I can definitely get you in the right direction. But most of the time, it is going to be a good fit, and you want to make sure you let them know about that too, so that they are just as excited to work with you as you are to work with them. So, after I get an inquiry through my website, I am always making sure that I'm hopping on the phone with them. So within my like form that they have to fill out, there's a phone number. And I love to jump on the phone and I just let them know who I am. Hey, I just got your inquiry. That's so awesome. And I chat through exactly what they're looking for, what kind of stuff I offer. And that's for like any kind of sessions, like any lifestyle sessions or engagement sessions, maternity, whatever it is, any kind of session like that. That's where I'm going to be jumping on the phone and chatting with them there. But if it's for a wedding, then I will send them a link to book a video call with me. So wedding obviously is a much larger investment, so that's why I want to make sure that I'm jumping on a video call with them because that's a like much more powerful tool that I've found than just jumping on the phone with them. Phone I do for more low ticket items like my lifestyle sessions, maternity sessions, newborn, whatever it is like that. If it's a wedding inquiry, I always make sure to jump on a Zoom call with them, and I'm putting in that time that they haven't even paid me yet. Like maybe they won't even book me. Most of the time they do. But I'm just saying, maybe they won't even book me, but I'm already showing that effort and that I truly want to get to know them and to get to know their needs and see if I'm going to be able to suit their needs and deliver to them what they are looking for. So it's a really, really powerful tool. I really need you to implement this if you truly want to grow your photography business and get more bookings. So maybe you're getting a lot of leads, but people are like scared as soon as you send them an email and they get scared off and they ghost you as soon as you email them with your rates. But they don't know you, they don't know what goes into it. So getting on the phone is super, super powerful, and I really need you to put this into practice. Okay, rant over on that. Practical tactics. These concepts that I just went over and these tactics, they are timeless. I literally do these things on the daily and it continues to get me business. So it's not something that maybe worked, a few years ago and now you're going to tell me, oh, I don't know if it's going to work today. No, it is going to work because I continue to do these things and it gets me business on the daily. I've helped countless amounts of students get these results by these exact tactics that I just went over and I just taught you and talked about. I recently had Dave come through my one-to-one marketing strategy sessions, and I was able to help him double his leads just by a few simple changes. And guess what? These simple changes were the stuff that I shared with you today. So you're not missing out. I literally shared these things with you today, and you were going to be able to do the same thing that Dave did. So before we wrap up here, you can't just sit there and say, wow, this lesson was like so cool and so powerful, but you still haven't actually gone and done any of these things. I need you to get out there. You've got this, and like, don't just sit there and be like, that was so awesome, and you finish up this training and you'd never go and do any of this. No, I need you to actually get these things done. Trust me, you've got this. I believe in you, and I cannot wait to stay in touch with you. So thank you so much for listening to this training for the 7 secrets to booking more clients. I am so excited to be educating you and helping your business grow. So I can't wait to keep in touch with you, and good luck. You are going to nail it.